Huddle. Good morning, Jen Homer, and welcome.
Well, good morning. Can you guys hear me okay?
Oh, absolutely. You're coming in
Okay.
loud and clear.
Monday. I am in Cincinnati. I know you guys are in Florida. It makes me jealous, but you can see the sun is shining. So I appreciate your time. I think I have about 4 or 5 minutes to talk. And for some of you guys in this, our kind of Steve Middleberg family, may have seen my post last night. But back in September, we lost my nephew, Jack. He was 24 years old to fentanyl. It was cocaine laced with fentanyl. I think we hear a lot in the media about addiction treatment, etc. But Jack just made a really bad decision on this Saturday night. And unfortunately, the friend of his also passed away from it. And, my goal is to get the word out there. I was completely oblivious to the popularity of cocaine on the college campuses. Like, it's like drinking beer now, per my children. I talked to 50 kids that were at Jack's funeral. And, the most frustrating thing now post Jack's death is when a parent says to me, oh, well, I'm just glad my kids don't, or, don't assume it. Everyone should be talking to their kids, and actually adults as well. I don't think the days of Coke without fentanyl exist. The fentanyl crisis is unbelievable. And as I've started sharing my family story, the amount of people that have come out of the woodwork to have a similar story is incredible. So my goal using this platform and LinkedIn platform, it's a different community that I'm involved in than maybe Facebook or Instagram with my family, is to get the word out and to take it national. So we're in the middle of creating the foundation right now about awareness, but starting in like 8th grade. It's pretty scary that I'm even saying that.
So first of all, thanks for the courage to share it. I know it's personal and I get choked up, just hearing it again, because it can happen to anybody at any time. Here in South Florida, it just happened. West Point cadets here on vacation, rent a house, buy cocaine from some stranger, and boom, the next thing you know, not only are the cadets overdosing, the people who tried to save them, give them mouth to mouth, overdose because it's that strong. So I know growing up in the culture that I did, which was a pretty, full of drugs, let's face it, it was what it was. No, everybody thinks you're invincible and you're not. And so this idea that one time, talk about Jack for a second, because this was not, your average kid. This was a superstar in waiting.
Yeah. And thank you, because I meant to start with that. So Jack graduated top of his class at South Carolina International Business School, had the most amazing college experience traveling the world. His future was so bright. Had just literally been in Baltimore for 1 month, starting his job in venture capital until he died. And my sister and husband had to drive up for that. A month. So here's this kid, and that's the story. It's not about, I understand we've got issues with addicts, that have a different rough path that might get hooked on painkillers and all this. This was just a fun Saturday night and a bad decision. And, part of our foundation is my brother-in-law stood up in front of a church, which I have no idea how he did it, and talked about that the next time you're faced with a bad decision, if you can't make a good decision on your own, you do it for Jack. And so the slogan for our foundation is going to be "Do It for Jack," and it's really taken off. The hashtag, it's pretty unbelievable. But the fact that he could stand in front of 1,000 people, a week after Jack died and talk about it, was pretty awesome.
This is one of those things that, as well learned and well read as I think I am, oblivious, had just no facing to it. When you brought it up, I had heard about it somewhere along the line, but all of a sudden, once you brought it to me, boom, 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 there were 3 or 4 other situations. So it's out there. It's bad. If you talk to people in law enforcement, they don't know what to do with it. Shay's brother, who's in law enforcement in North Carolina, he's getting trained because as a first responder, he could die if he goes in, so it's so amazing. But the one thing that we can do, the power that we have, is to inform and to tell people. And I love that you asked about, is it appropriate? It's highly appropriate. That's why I have you here. So can you tell us any more details about the foundation? Is there anything the Huddle can do?
Yeah, you know what? Stay tuned. We have the paperwork in process. My goal is Jack's birthday is this June. Is kind of a kickoff date in my sister and husband's mind, and most of it's going to be spent on awareness. But Jack was so incredibly brilliant and well read that her goal is for students that don't have the funds or the means to maybe have access to reading and education and even athletics is taking care of those kids. And I think that's what Jack would have wanted because, he was extremely smart.
Yeah, to me, it's unfathomable. I just, the thought of it is so crazy. You guys have, really been amazing in the face of the tragedy. I thank you for coming on. I thank you for sharing. I only ask that when the foundation is together, you allow, me and the Noodleberg family and the Huddle family to do something, powerful to help.
Okay, thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're the best.
Okay, and, so are you guys.
Hope to see you soon.
Have a great day. Okay.